16.
Thank you. $15.
Well, immediately apparent that Michael Chang is not going to be lacking for support. Well, it's early times yet, and he's still got to get rid of the nerves. It'll take him a game or two to settle down, but it's important for Henman that he stays level with Chang, that he doesn't fall behind early. It's even better, of course, if he gets ahead of Chang.
$40.
I think the one chance that Tim Henman may have is the fact that I honestly do believe that even with the extra long racket that Chang is using, he's getting more power, but he's getting a lower first serve percentage. So Henman will see a lot of second serves.
Game, Chang. First game.
So a very comfortable opening service game for Michael Chang, and frankly it looked a little nervy from Tim Henman. Always seems so cool and calm, Michael. A man of great belief, religious belief, self-belief, and yet a total acceptance of whatever he feels his destiny is. He was talking before the tournament. He said, well, I look forward to what the Lord has in store for me in the next 2 weeks.
Well, that's a true Christian belief, you know, that you do believe in the Lord and what he has in store for you. What the Lord wants you to do is to do your absolute best. And I've never seen Michael Chang do anything else but his absolute best. So he's a competitor through and through, and he's the type of guy that you've got to beat. There's no two ways about it. He's not going to beat himself. There are times where I've seen him play less than well, but he's still giving of his best. That is the type of play that I'm expecting Henman to be trying to do. Hit the ball hard, get the ball short, and then go for the big shot. Good service motion.
Stays up pretty well. Falls a little bit to the left after he's hit the ball. Oh, what a good game.
The Union Jacks, the Cross of St George.
1 game more.
Yes, that was certainly a confidence-giving game for Tim Henman. A love service game, 1-1.
Michael Chang much smaller. He gets up to the ball, but still the ball's not very high off the ground when he hits it. Being such a small man, by international tennis standards, that is.
30 love.
It's Michael Chang, 5'9", 1 metre 75. Henman, well, almost the average height, 6'1", 1 metre 85. The average height of the world's top 100 these days, 6'2".
The crowd really are into the match already. They didn't take even half a second as we see the two service motions and the early preparation that both have after they've hit the ball.
Game Chang.
Chang answers Henman's love service game with one of his own, and in the first 3 games just 1 point has gone
Chang
against the
leads
serve.
2 games to 1.
Michael Chang leading 2-1 in the first set. And this the last match of day 5 of the Ford Australian Open. Thank you for choosing to watch it on Eurosport. We're live. Later, after this match, we'll be looking back on all the events that mattered earlier today.
Love 15.
Looked like that return to serve might have been going wide. It had enough topspin to come down into the court.
I tell you, if this match becomes a long one, there are going to be a lot of people with very sore throats tomorrow morning.
Yes, we have a very peaceful day tomorrow. That is, unless we get 15,000 different people into the stadium.
Yes, you can just sense that there's still anxiety in Henman. Hasn't really settled. First serve isn't working as yet. The first break points go to Michael Chang.
Hasn't quite found his rhythm on his backhand. The first 2 backhands went up the middle. I think he was trying to hit them more down the line, and then he overcompensated on the 3rd one to go cross court and hit it well over the baseline.
30-14.
That's a good serve. That's what he's been doing in the tournament thus far. Very, very powerful first serves. Very deep, close to the corners.
Still break point.
That one was over 200 kilometers an hour. Didn't go in, unfortunately.
Oh dear. Well, it was a good second serve, and it elicited the sort of reply he wanted. High. But there's no doubt that Michael Chang is the man who settled by far the better. The skyline of Melbourne. The lovely thing about Melbourne Park, or Flinders Park, is that it is so close to the city centre, just a quarter of an hour stroll.
That is, of course, a quarter of an hour stroll, according to you, David. It's about an hour for me.
You're not that decrepit, Bob.
I'm getting close to it. Well, I did say at the beginning of this broadcast where Henman is 14 in the world, he's now going to be not treated as the new boy on the block. They know what to expect. But in actual fact, in himself, he's still a new boy on the block because he doesn't have that much experience. So who can blame him for being a little bit uptight still in this match?
Now, this time last year, it was the first time he got direct entry into a Grand Slam. His ranking had been high enough to go direct in rather than a wild card or qualifying.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes, that's the best shot that Henman's played so far. By a distance.
It was not an easy backhand for him to hit. See, he's over a meter behind the baseline when he hits that backhand down the line.
40-30.
But that is a heck of a serve from Chang.
Cheers.
First game to reach deuce in this match. We've had 2 love games. It looked easy, but it was in a very, very difficult backhand smash. Comes into the net very quickly. Top spin lob. Flick of the wrist.
breakback point. Another beautifully constructed point. You can tell that Mrs. Henman is very excited, a very useful player herself, a county player in England.
It's so much easier to play the matches than it is to watch. Very close.
Yes, I'm not surprised Michael's having a second look. Chang. Well, that was a disappointment for Henman. The two breakback chances would have got him right into the match. Instead, it's Michael Chang who's dominating. And he leads by 4-1 in the first set.
Achieve perfection with Corel WordPerfect Suite 7, the award-winning word processor. Make your numbers count with the spreadsheet power of Corel Quattro Pro 7. Captivate your audience with Corel Presentation 7. And publish to the internet with the first suite that uses Java technology. The choice is obvious. Go with a winner.
Corel WordPerfect Suite 7. 32-bit office, graphics, and internet power.
Welcome back. Yes, the American fans must be pretty happy at the moment. 4-1 to Michael Chang in the first set. And thank you for watching Eurosport's extensive coverage of the Ford Australian Open. Every day we're with you. Today we're with you till 8:30 UK time this evening, 9:30 Central European, apart from we're going away for some World Cup skiing for an hour or so. But that's typical of our schedule throughout the fortnight, and we're absolutely thrilled to be bringing you live coverage of this match. Although I don't think Tim Henman's too thrilled with the first 20 minutes of it. 1-4. And also at night, an hour's highlights at 9 UK, 10 Central Europe.
That last game on Chang's serve Maybe there's insects on the court.
Suggesting that there's a little bit of damp behind the line. Might have been some sweat. We don't normally get a sweaty court, which we did have in Doha a few years ago with the humidity there. That's it. It's probably just some perspiration has dropped off the players. Oh, I know what it was. I know what it was. I think he'd flattened the bug inadvertently and running around the baseline. That would have been very slippery and very nasty.
I was going to say that last service game on Chang, very long. He had 2 break points. He didn't get it. Would have been fantastic had he broken back, but it's not the end of the world because he forced Chang to play a long game, so that could help his confidence.
Oh, that's brilliant, because the volley could not have been any better.
Powerful return of serve, and he got into the net so well for that first volley, hit it beautifully. Who would have thought that Chang could have come up with a backhand down the line, but he did.
Two points for the double break.
Game, Chang.
Well, if you don't get your first serve in against Michael Chang, you're in trouble, and he didn't get one in that game.
Didn't get one. He's only got 4 in, and he's had 15 service points.
Chang serving for the set. Oh, this is superb stuff from the world number 2. Ramming home the lesson at the moment.
He has to come in on a slightly better approach shot, because if he doesn't, Chang can pass or he can get the ball down low. If he gets it down low, he forces the weak volley, and then he can come up with a lob or a passing shot.
First ace of the match. And now 3 set points.
Well, that could go anywhere. And it went in too.
It went into court. What a way to end the set.
6 games to 1.
But what a set. Michael Chang has played.
4 change, please.
And in 26 minutes, he sent out the message to Tim Henman, you may be the young up-and-comer, but I'm number 2 in the world, and this is what it's all about on the big stage.
One of the nice things about playing best-of-5 set tennis is the fact that you can begin very slowly, and Henman has begun very slowly, and still get yourself back into it. If this is a best-of-3 sets, you could almost excuse Henman for panicking a little bit at the beginning of the second set, but there's absolutely no reason for him to panic. What there is, as you see this last point, this must have, if the roof was closed, that might have hit the roof, and certainly Chang was not expecting it to come in. So high was that lob. But what Henman has to do now is he has to say to himself, okay, I didn't play very well. He played okay, but I have to get my game. And all it is he's up against someone who's a little bit different. It's like playing someone who's unorthodox. If you are concerned with their unorthodox play, then you forget to play yourself. He's just got to play his own game. And if Chang is too good, hey, you shake hands and say, too good.
Henman came from a set down in 3 successive matches in Sydney against Sergi Bruguera, Alex O'Brien and Goran Ivanisevic, so he certainly shouldn't be panicking, but he'll want to get some first serves in. And if they're aces, so much the better. His first of the match.
That was a beauty as well. 196 kilometers an hour. And that's where Chang is so difficult, because he gets that return down low, and then it gives him time to do whatever he wants to do with a passing shot or a lob. Going back to that ace, David, the ace was served at 196. Now, if he keeps serving in that range, he's going to increase the service percentage. If he says, well, gee, he's going to get my serve back, so I better get it up over 200, then he's not going to get enough first serves in.
14-30.
Much better serving, and it needed to be, and Henman stops the rot. He'd lost 5 successive games, but he wins the first game of the second set.
The 80s Collection.
It's the final countdown.
Time Life präsentiert Ihnen die Top-Hits eines Jahrzehnts auf einer einmaligen Sammlung.
We're with you throughout the fortnight, bringing you the evening matches live and extensive coverage of the day matches. Chang, love 1.
Isn't it great, David, with the with the time change between England and Melbourne, that okay, this match is at night. We're blessed with the fact that it is at night. We're blessed with the fact that we can show England this match live, not recorded or anything like that.
It didn't go over, at least not until the fourth attempt.
15 all.
Yes, if you are wondering what is the time difference, incidentally, Melbourne 11 hours ahead of the UK, 10 ahead of Central European.
It looked over, didn't it? It wanted to go over.
30-15.
These lobs are really hurting Henman at the moment.
14-15.
With the top spin, once the ball bounces, it continues to go away from you.
Game check.
And then making a mistake there, I think, of changing his mind.
Winner of this match, incidentally, will play Andre Medvedev or Dennis van Scheppingham. Bob and I know who that will be, but we're not going to tell you because that's one of the matches we'll be bringing you later in the day.
That's the way to play it.
15
Big forehand. He has got a very good forehand. He's got a good backhand as well, Henman. As a matter of fact, he needs to improve every stroke that he has, yet he doesn't have a weakness.
I was just trying to think back when Michael Chang last made an unforced error in this match. I think we could count them on one hand. A little look at Lars Graf. So a love game for Tim Henman, and maybe he's beginning to feel his way into the match now. 2-1 he leads in the second set, but it's Chang by a set to love. Michael Chang just getting some fresh towels. Not the hottest of days today. He got up to about 25. Obviously cooled down a bit since then. Actually very pleasant playing conditions. There was a bit of breeze, which is certainly affecting the outside courts rather more than this great bowl of a centre court. The forecast of the weekend is for it to really heat up again. This Tuesday it was, what, 35, 36. One-two, second set, Chang serving. Maybe I'm clutching at straws, Bob, but there seems to be greater fluency now about the Henman play.
Yes, he's gotten rid of the nerves, and now he's playing tennis.
Not for nothing is Chang known as the supreme counterpuncher.
He did very well just to get to the ball, let alone hit it cross court. And he had the benefit of the left hand on the racket. A right-hander, one-hander, would never have done that.
Always were sneaky, these double-handed people, weren't they?
Yeah, they should be banned. Unless, of course, they use two hands on both sides and they play doubles with me. Then it's all right.
15-30.
Hewitt and Frew McMillan, one of the all-time great doubles teams. Frew, of course, double-handed on both wings. You'll be hearing from him later.
Well, Henman may have lost the point through a good backhand volley from Chang. But, certainly Chang had to work very, very hard and hit the ball extremely well to come up with a victorious point.
Second ace from Chang. Followed by the first double fault of the match. As much as I love the Barmy Army, I do hope they don't get into the habit of yelling encouragement to double faults.
Now that does tend to spoil the match, doesn't it?
Beginning to get hold of the second serve.
Advantage, Henman.
Second serve just not getting anywhere near the center line. Henman able to run around it and hit the big forehand approach.
Break point.
way too close to that ball when he hit it. Racket head couldn't get through the ball to get the top spin that he was looking for.
Using the centre theory, coming in down the middle, giving your opponent no angle. Second break point. Just inside the line. That's the break for Henman, and now the match is on.
Henman leads 3-1.
3-1, second set. Another one of our feathered friends. Rather the ball kid than me. I'm not a great one for picking up bugs.
Suddenly Henman is getting a slightly higher percentage of first serves in. They're powerful. Chang unable to get the ball down low enough to stop Henman from playing big volleys.
40 love.
No, that missed by a considerable distance. Two love service games in a row for Tim Henman.
Henman leads 4-1.
The thing that I've always admired about Tim Henman is he does seem to have the coolness, the same sort of coolness that Michael Chang has on the court. I think he learnt from that awful incident at Wimbledon in '95 when lost his temper, banged the ball, and of course totally unintentionally it hit a ball girl and he was defaulted. But from there on he's always seemed to be able to keep his emotion, not panic as you suggest.
Well, I don't know what Tim was like before that. I don't know if he was normally a little bit explosive on the court, but he used the word at that time, or the saying, yes, I hit the ball in anger. I'm not convinced, having seen that, and we didn't really get a good chance to see it on TV, but I had a feeling that he hit it more in frustration than anger. But certainly, as you say, since then, irrespective to what he was like at that time, he's been absolutely perfect. He plays the game, he gets on with it. He very much models himself on Ed Berg. He's a great admirer of Ed Berg. And who can blame him for being an admirer of Ed Berg? And he's also an admirer of Michael Chang. So he's looking up to the right people as a young man. But at the same time, he's still able to play his own game and not model his game on somebody else.
1-4, second set.
think if I was Michael Chang, even though I won that last point, I think I'd be inclined to try to keep my ground strokes a little bit deeper to stop Henman from coming into the net. Good powerful serve and a very fine forehand.
Chang responding to the gauntlet that Henman has thrown down in this second set. Super stuff from the second seed.
Henman leads 4 games to 2.
So a love game for Michael Chang. Indeed, 3 of the last 4 games have been love games, the exception, the game in which Henman broke, which gives him his current 4-2 lead.
Love 15.
This is the game that Henman must fully concentrate. Mustn't think that he's won the game nor the set. He's only 4-2 up. He's got to make sure he holds his serve. Ooh, that doesn't help.
Yes, Chang convinced it was out on his baseline. I have to say that as the ball was in the air, I was thinking that was going long.
I was thinking the same thing, but last craft says no, it was on the line. It was a good call.
Huge point, of course. The difference between well, difference between 30 all and 15-40. Well, at least the line judge sees the funny side of it, and that's good. Break point to Chang.
You even saw Michael smiling as well, and you don't often see that.
First double fault of the match from Henman, and Chang breaks back. 4-3 now is Henman's lead, but we're back on serve.
Rediscover the purity
at the moment. Live coverage of the last match of the day. Michael Chang has forced his way back into this second set. Henman was leading 4-1, but now it's 4-3. First set for Chang, 6-1.
What a disappointing game that was from Henman. Chang came up with a couple of good shots, but really Henman threw it away, ending up with that double fault. So now he's got it all to do. He's got to concentrate now, try to break straight back.
Love 15.
A little look up at the fans.
Love 13.
That's a huge forehand, and these are 3 points for Henman to move ahead 5-3.
Love 14.
Played a pretty good point. The slice backhand was very, very deep, forcing the weaker forehand or weaker backhand till eventually he had the opportunity to hit the winning forehand.
A little bit of luck for Henman there. Complete miss hit turned into a pretty useful drop shot. And Henman will serve for the set at 5-3.
Henman leads 5 games to 3. Left process. Love 15.
Well, it was an error on the forehand volley, but it was the power on the return that I believe forced the error.
Love 30.
The volley, hit the volley.
Love 14.
With that support by the English fans, there could come a time where they spoil this match a little bit.
3 break-back points. Chang breaks back again.
Henman leads 5 games to 4. Ball change, please.
Oh, terrific play again from Michael Chang. He made those returns. You know when you're in that situation, you're going to serve for the set against Chang. He's going to make you earn it. He's not going to give you anything. And that's absolutely right. And that's why he's the #2 player in the world.
Right, and he was so close to, I think think it was one win away, wasn't it, that stopped him from being #1 in the world. So he really is very, very close to being the #1 player. He cannot become the #1 player even if he were to win this tournament. Sampras will remain #1 irrespective to what happens. But you don't get to #2 in the world, and he's been in that top 10 range for any number of years, and that just goes to show you that he does so many things well. And one of the things that he does do well is he returns serve well. Generally speaking, he returns serve well. I can't say he always does it because nobody always does it. But again, generally speaking, when you are serving for a set, serving for the match, he's going to do everything he possibly can to get that ball back and make you win that game. And unfortunately for Henman, he wasn't up to it. He couldn't win that game.
New balls in play. We've had 4 breaks of serve in this second set, and it's Chang serving at 4-5.
15 now.
Third ace.
Chang has gotten 8 first serves in a row, which is very, very unusual for him. Oh dear.
And he's won 8 points in a row. Indeed, 9 in a row. And it's 5-all. So very important for Henman here. He's lost his last 2 service games. Second. Yes, Chang will run down anything if he can.
Needed a little bit more width on that smash, and maybe Michael wouldn't have bothered to chase it.
Nearly there.
15-30.
Good pick up on the half volley and good stretch there on the forehand volley, just clipping the tape.
Second ace from Henman. Finding the serves when he needed them most. Henman moves back in front. 6-5 now. in the second set. First set to Michael Chang, 6-1. This third round match, playing for a place in the last 16. Deep in thought, he often fiddles with his strings at the change of end, just urging himself on. I suppose saying to himself now, well, I've broken twice in this set, why not a third time? 15,000 people crammed in, pictures going all around the world, wherever you are in Europe or indeed in Israel or North Africa, places like Morocco. I know you watch us. Lovely to have your company.
Thank you. Love.
'That's a superb backhand. It's almost a half volley.
30 love.
He's able to control the ball down the line and get power and topspin, making it impossible for Henman to control his forehand volley. At this stage of the match, you must get every serve back into play, even if you have to kick it in.
Well, that was a tight call because it seemed to skid off the line, but there we are. No protest from Henman. And we're into a second set tiebreak.
I might have just about called that good somehow.
Double faults and tie breaks are criminal. His third of the match.
Chang. Chang.
Good.
3-1, Chang.
He needs this one as well. Just want to go a double mini break down.
The second serve dealt with contemptuously. 4-1 Chang.
Chang was there so quickly to that volley from Henman. I thought he was going to volley it himself.
The change ends at 5-1. One of the two mini breaks recovered. Still a long way to go. He has to win these two service points. And his parents, David and Jane, know that only too well.
Well, if you can get this one, making it 5-4, really an interesting situation in a tiebreak. No, big backswing, a tremendous backswing on that one. He didn't need to. He tried to drive it instead of punch volley it. Let's have another look and see how long the take back was. It was far too far back.
And it's given Michael Chang 3 points for a 2-sets-to-love lead. Immaculate tiebreak from Chang. And after an hour and 13 minutes, he has a vice-like grip on this match. 2-sets-to-love to the second seed.
I am the
3 has now missed the boat.
Thank you.
We shall see. Third set, Chang to serve.
Well, there's no two ways about it. For Henman to win this match, he's going to have to show a great deal of mental and physical courage. He's going to have to fight harder than he's ever fought in his life before, because he's 2-sets-to-love down and he's up against a guy like Michael Chang. He can do it.
Oh. Well,
see what I mean?
Yes. It's not often you see Michael Chang not even attempt to run for a drop shot.
15 all.
Oh, I mean, this is absolutely superb. It was a little bit low when he hit it to play the drop shot, but so superbly did he hit it.
30-15.
Another drop shot.
30 all.
Obviously, it's not really a drop shot, but he'll take it. It's about the only way to hit a winner, I think.
Oh dear. He had that covered. He thought it was going wide.
It's a little bit deceptive, the amount of topspin that Chang gets on his backhand. Certainly was the topspin that pulled it down. Nope.
There's the danger that Bob Hugh was talking about right at the start of the match, about feeling the need to force too much. So Henman really does have to batten down the hatches. He's got to stay in touch in this third set, otherwise Chang is just going to steamroll all over him. Let's have a look at some of the past champions at the Ford Australian Open. Oh, some famous names, all of them. The days where, well, frankly, there were some one or two strange winners at the Australian Open. That's long since gone. It's a genuine Grand Slam.
And how? You're quite right. It used to have some very, very strange champions and runner-ups at the Australian, but now it is all genuine people. And I think the difference in this match is the fact that in the earlier matches that Henman played, he served particularly well. I said that at the opening part of the broadcast, that he had been serving very well, getting a high percentage of serves in, serving a number of aces, and therefore the whole game lifted. He hasn't served that well. In fact, he's only serving at 42% first serves in, and that's putting the rest of the game under a little bit too much pressure, and you already have enough pressure playing Michael Chang. You don't need to put a little bit more pressure on your shoulders.
15 love.
This is better.
Third ace. Followed by a fourth double.
One game on.
So the Barmy Army, as we call the hordes of travelling fans who support English teams and English players, British players all over the world. We haven't given up hope, and that'll help.
Yeah, most definitely. Everything helps. Why do you call him Barney?
I think I better not say, they might sue me.
15 love.
I think they're self-christened, to be honest.
Oh, well, that's okay. Gee,
That looked very long.
that did look very long.
No bleep from Cyclops.
Maybe it was too long for the Cyclops to come into play, and the linesman wasn't looking, and Henman just had a little look at the linesperson. Get your composure back now, Tim Henman. You are 2 sets to love down, but you are not out of it.
Chang.
We're on serve then
Chang leads 2 games to 1.
in the third set, and it's Chang who leads 2 games to 1 and 2 sets to love. Eurosport's live coverage, day 5 of the Ford Australian Open. Remember, after this match, whenever it finishes, we will be commencing our look back on all the stories that have happened earlier in the day in Melbourne. 1-2. Henman serving in the third set.
Well, the power on the serve forced the higher return.
I love it when Michael's doing that. I don't think his opponents do. It's such a fighter. Five double faults now from Henman. Just one from his opponent. It was just long. My word. Henman must have been thinking, what have I got to do to put this ball away? Fantastic stuff.
It really was a superb point, and you can see that Chang's already running before Henman hits the volley, and that is just centimeters long.
To all.
Love hitting. pushes. Left pushes.
A little lucky there, Chang, but for the net, that would have been wide. First serve.
David, I don't know if you sense the same thing that I'm sensing. That if Tim can get this third set, I think he's more than in the match. I think he really has an excellent chance to win the match.
Yeah, I must confess I'm not that as confident as that, but what I am looking for, and you're always looking at Henman now for signs of progress. I'm thinking back to his last match of this caliber against Becker, semi-final of the Grand Slam Cup, loses two pretty tight first sets, and then it all rushed away from him in the third, 6-1. This isn't rushing away from him.
Well, he's a few months older and a few months more experienced.
Now that's a wonderful shot from Chang again.
It is. And the reason why I say it is because if he wins the third set, he's got a bit of momentum, and I think he would get a little bit more confidence. I'm not 1,000% convinced that he's overly confident at this moment. He's not quite sure what he should be doing.
One thing I'm sure he shouldn't be doing is trying to drop shot Michael Chang.
Well, you can drop shot me, but certainly not Michael Chang. 1.5 hours the match has been in progress. Chang is only serving at about 52%, 53% first serves in. So he's getting a look at a lot of second serves, but he's just not taking advantage of enough of them. That was the case there. Which way would you like to run? Because I'd like to hit it in the other direction.
Lovely.
Again, I'm not sure that would have gone in if it had not hit the net.
No, he's just missed it. Well, glimmers of chances in that game for Henman. 30 all and juice. But Chang holds and leads 3-2, third set. the one thing, again, that has impressed me about Henman is that he's learnt from his major defeats. I mean, if you look back to Todd Martin, who beat him at Wimbledon, he learnt from that, beat him next time out at the US Open. He didn't get a chance to revenge his defeat at the Open by Stefan Edberg. Stefan retired. But he does seem to be able to learn lessons, and Boris Becker, after beating him in the Grand Slam Cup, made some really good points, I thought, about Henman in the press conference, and Henman went away and worked on it. More coming to the net, more serve and volleying, being a little sharper, a little more aggressive, and certainly that's come through at the beginning of this year.
Well, that's a good sign for Henman, but it's also a good sign for David Felgate, because no doubt David is able to help him in that respect.
David, the coach.
15
The power on the approach shot again was tremendous. A little bit short, perhaps. That one wasn't short, though.
Well, this is the best consistent serving that Henman has produced in the match. 3 service games from him in this third set, and just 3 points conceded. 2 of those, ironically, double faults. 3-all.
That type of shot, you say, listen, you so-and-so, if you want to win the point that way, you can have it.
Should have made the third one. It was the easiest.
40 love.
But again, I go back to what I've said before. If you can come up and play your best strokes and your opponent can still beat you, you can say, good shot, too good. But don't start forcing.
Game, Chang.
Love service game for Michael Chang, and he moves in front once again in this third set by 4 games. Day after day, This was for a sport that Sports Illustrated told us 2 years ago was dying on its feet. Now there's David Felgate, and the gentleman with the towel I can recognise is Jeremy Bates, who's actually taken over David's job as in charge of men's training for the Lawn Tennis Association back home in Britain. David now travelling full-time with Tim Henman. Three-four.
That was just too good a lob. He had to round arm it. He didn't have the time to try to play a normal smash. Couldn't flick the wrist early enough to pull the ball back into play.
Left for Swiss.
Well, for a sustained exhibition of lobbing, video this and just watch it and watch it and watch it. It's absolutely brilliant.
Then having watched it 100 times, you go out in the court and try and do it, and you won't hit the ball anywhere near the court. Tremendous talent required to do a shot like that.
Love 40.
The 6 double faults, and these are desperate times for Tim Henman. 3 break points to leave Chang serving for the match.
Game Chang.
Yes, the little clenched fist from Chang, as if to say, that's it, now I've got him.
Chang leads 5 games to 3.
It's an even brother Carl move to smile. Serving for the match and a place in the last 16.
Thank you. Love 15.
And this is where Henman has to come up and play some great shots. Chang nearly getting that. Can't make the unforced errors.
All.
Fourth ace from Chang, so he served more aces and fewer doubles. And after an hour and 43 minutes, it's 2 match points for Michael Chang. Oh, well, a great point to end the match.
Wins by 3 sets to love. 6-1, 7-6.
And a brilliant performance from Michael Chang. Tim Henman may be a coming star, but he's learnt today just how much more he has to learn, how much more he has to improve if he's going to compete with the very best on the game's biggest stage. Chang wins in an hour and 3 quarters, 6-1, 7-6 and 6-3.
David, I mentioned the other day about kicking the butt only a few vertebrae away from a pat in the back. Well, I don't believe he deserves a kick in the butt. He didn't play as well as we would have expected. I'm sure he didn't play as well as he wanted to play, but he will learn from it. You have to learn not only from your defeats, but from your victories as well. And he'll sit down with David Felgate. I'm sure they won't sit down tonight. It's not the time to do it. They'll sit down tomorrow, analyze what happened, go through the whole thing. He'll learn from it. He will continue to move up the rankings. Of that, I have no doubt.
Chang moves on into the last 16. Yes, I'd agree with everything you said there, Bob. I just hope that some of our press don't see this as a disaster. He's lost to the second best player in the world, who's playing really well. And if you look back on the first 3 tournaments of Tim Henman's year, he's won 1, he's got to 1 final, he's reached the 3rd round of a slam and lost to the 2nd seed. He's moving forward. We're going to move forward.
This is not a disaster.
No, absolutely. We're moving forward, and next we're going to see Natasha Zvereva and